In this video, we're going to be using Barbus Classic and the Gillette Super Speed Blue Tip Safety Razor. Stay tuned. Hey there folks, and welcome back for another video. I'm your host CDB, and thanks so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. As always, before we get into the content, a word from our sponsor, Leaf. This video is brought to you by our good friends at Leaf, and you know I love Leaf products. I love using the Leaf, which you've seen me use many times on the channel. I also love using the Twig. You've seen that a lot on the channel as well. If you'd like to save 5%, use discount code IAMCDB right there and save 5% while shopping with the good folks at Leaf. And now, back to the video. And all right, we are back and we have a good one for you today. Today, we're using Barbus Classic, and this comes to you from Slovakia. This is $16 for 5.3 ounces, and on our cost chart there, that's a good price of $3.01 an ounce. This has a clean, fresh scent. The scent notes aren't available, but to my nose, it's clean, it's fresh, maybe lemony or something like that, but it's not like Arco. It's a nice scent. I do like the scent. It comes across clean, fresh, scent strength right at that medium level. I'll show you the ingredients right there. I can't recall whether this is tallow or vegan, so I'll show you the ingredients there and you can sort of look that up for yourself, or at least read the ingredients and figure that out. It's not difficult to lather. You can build volume with it easily, but to get it creamy, you do have to work at it a little bit. We did get a nice lather. I'll show you a lather shot right there. But some of the classic soaps, they'll tend to fluff up on you and be a little airy at first, but you got to keep beating it into submission, adding water slowly, and you can get it creamy, but I would say it's not easy to get super creamy like the artisanal soaps that have all the heavy butters and oils. I think those butters and oils make it easier to get that soap weighty and get that real creamy sort of consistency, but you can definitely get a really nice lather with this. But keep in mind, the volume will come easy. The creamy sheen that you're looking for, it takes a little work to get that water incorporated, but you can get there. You can get there. And the quality in terms of the shave is going to be good. I've used this soap many times. It's going to provide slickness, cushion glide, and all the stuff you want. The razor for today is the Gillette Super Speed. This is, of course, a vintage razor. It is a twist to open, which means you twist the bottom, bay doors come open, and we have a Gillette Massett blade loaded in there. And this is a pretty mild razor, and we haven't used this one for a while, so I figured I would use it today. Again, this is called the Gillette Super Speed Blue Tip because the tip is blue, and let's just get into it today. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. So far today, this is just plain water, by the way, just misting the face, getting it wet. And we are going to have a nice shave today, and I hope wherever you are, you will do the same. Let's get after it. We've got our lather sitting here. Let's mix that up just a little bit. The brush for today, which I forget to mention a lot, this one is the APShaveco handcrafted series, or one of their handcrafted series brushes, and it is very nice. And let's apply this Barbus. And this is going to be nice. And don't forget, oh, big dude Barbus, you know, he's always out there grinding, commenting on the videos. He's there at the Instagram shows. He likes to grind, that is for sure. Big dude Barbus. Again, this is a product of Slovakia. And honestly, I have liked the Barbus products. They are good classic sort of products. And do not think that these products don't work well, because they do. Again, I think when lathering it, because they don't have all the butters and oils, and just about all the classic soaps fall into that category, they'll still provide a very good result. We're spoiled with all those, you know, butters and oils that give us all that really heavy lather. But I'll tell you, when it comes to just the shave and performing the shave, these classic soaps will give you all the things you need to actually perform a great shave, in my opinion. And I need to be reminded to use these classics once in a while. I know a lot of people ask for it, so I will try to rotate these in. And as you can see, I got lather running down my brush there. Rinse that off a little bit. That's the one thing, you really have to add water to sort of get the creamy consistency with this particular soap. Had to work at it a little bit. But keep in mind, it will build volume easy, but it might be a little bit fluffy, at least when you start, so keep that in mind. All right, let's get started here today with the Super Speed Blue Tip, and that feels nice. These old vintage razors by Gillette are wonderful. They're, for me, on the mild side, but it doesn't mean I can't use them effectively, because I can. And most people should be able to use them effectively. All they need to do is, again, the purpose of the razor is just to provide access to that blade, and then you have to figure out how best to get that angle to make sure you're getting the most out of the razor. It's definitely mild, but it is a nice old school razor. My favorite super speed is the red tip. It's a little bit heavier. The handle's a little bit heavier. It has different knurling on it. It might be my favorite Gillette vintage razor. The Fat Boy might be #1 and the red tip #2. Sometimes they go back and forth, but this is a good razor. And by the way, if you didn't check out our interview yesterday with that aired with Sterling, I will pop it up there for you in one of the corners. It is fantastic. Take some time and watch that, and I think you'll appreciate it. It was a lot of fun, and I think a lot of people will enjoy that. And I certainly enjoyed sitting down with them, so that was a great time. And more of those will be coming with various artisans and vendors and so on. So thank you so much for watching those. I try to bring you information to get to know these people better, because there are people behind these products. And I tell you what, the Lovin family are just terrific people, and I hope that comes across in that interview. All right. First pass, going very nice. Let's get that right there so it doesn't roll all the way down down onto my shirt. First pass, nice and smooth, what you would consider really nice and smooth. No roughness. You're not going to get it out of the blue tip. Pretty much any of the super speeds should be safe for most people to use. Some people say the red tip is aggressive. I don't find it to be aggressive. It might be a little more so than this one, but I don't find any of the vintage Gillette razors to be very aggressive, personally. But that was a nice first pass, and the Barbus did its job. Plenty of slickness there. Plenty of the things that you need for the shave. Remember, I always say, what protects you during the shave is not really the soap. It's here, your hands controlling this razor, and what's between your ears, your knowledge. The soap will provide a platform for that razor to glide, and it will help you do what you need to do. But if you do the wrong thing with a razor, and I'll give you a perfect example. If you're holding the razor this way and you make a motion like that, there's no amount of soap that will protect you for that. So when people say soap protection, yes, it provides protection insofar as providing a platform for the razor to glide so it can be easy. But if you do the wrong thing, like make a horizontal motion when it's oriented this way, it's not going to protect you, believe me. The thing that will protect you is your skill, your knowledge, and making sure you're wielding the equipment properly. But the Barbus will give you the slickness that you need, and that's what I'm looking for here. I'm looking for a nice platform for this razor to glide easily. What you don't want is to hit a spot that's not slick and have the razor skip. But honestly, I've never had a razor skip if it's been lathered properly. Let me caveat that. If you don't lather a soap properly, maybe that's possible. But if you get the best out of your soap, it's going to be slick. If you get that hydration in there, it's going to be slick, and the razor should not be skipping. If it is skipping, it might be something that you need to adjust. I did hear someone whose experience yesterday said he had a problem with razor skipping. I don't recall having that happen, but I would say just be careful. Make sure you get the best out of your soap. Make sure it's lathered in a way, you can feel when it's slick, and you should be good. But mostly, it's about how you wield your equipment. So don't come into it under the false premise that you think, okay, I'm spending $8 an ounce for soap, it's going to protect me. That's the wrong way to look at it, because I promise you, if you do this, you will not be protected. So keep that in mind. Now that said, this is not rocket science. For you folks who are new out there, it is not rocket science. And believe me, I always try to come back to this from time to time. If you're struggling right now, I struggled too in my first few weeks or even first couple of months, But you will be rewarded if you stick with it. So stick with it, and know there are people out there who are ready and willing to help you and coach you up as best they can. I certainly had a lot of help. And people will encourage you, and if you stick around, there'll be a point where it just clicks, and you'll be like, I get it. And when that happens, the world is your oyster, as they say. You got choices, the there's so many blade choices, razor choices, soap choices, brush choices. Like, the door has been opened to something really, really nice. Once you get there is an initial learning curve. Once you get over that learning curve, and your face has time to adjust, because one of the things that's important to consider too is, I'm going to lather for a cross pass here. If you're coming from cart razor shaving, or especially electric razor shaving, there is an initial period where your skin needs to adjust. You're using a different type of blade, you're using a different type of razor. The angles are a little bit different than cart. And so your skin needs to adjust, and it will toughen up a little bit over the first number of weeks once you get accustomed to it. It's just like the first time, if you've ever used an electric razor, the first time you ever use it, it's weird. Like, your skin feels weird, and it takes a while for it to adjust, I should say. Same thing with this style of shaving. It takes time for your skin to adjust, but it will make that adjustment. And then you just have to figure out, what sequence of strokes you're going to make. Typically what people do is they figure out the grain in which their beard runs, and that is not all in one direction. So for most people on the cheeks, it runs up and down this way. But on the neck, a lot of people get swirls. They run east to west, west to east. Mine runs east to west. And so you figure out the grain of your beard. It's called beard mapping. And then you try, the traditional way to do it is for the first pass to go with the grain. So if my beard grain was running from top to bottom down this way, first pass would be this way with the grain. Second pass is across the grain, and third pass is against the grain. But keep in mind, the grain of your beard can be wildly different from person to person. And a lot of people, I don't think a lot of people have swirls, and I don't think everybody's beard runs the same direction 100%. If you are, you're lucky. If it just runs from top to bottom, you are lucky. But most people, they get swirls, they get east to west, especially on the neck. It's most common on the neck. So keep that in mind. But also keep in mind, we are here to encourage you, and we want you to be successful, because we want you in the community shaving with us and sharing your experience and buying these wonderful products and giving your thoughts on these products. That's what makes it fun. The act of shaving is a lot of fun itself, but the people make it tremendous fun as well. You get to know so many people, and that's what really makes any community, the people, right? And it's no different in this one. And I know when people hear about the community, they're like, shaving community, what is that? Like, they think it's crazy. But once you're part of it, and you get to know people, and you get to make friends, it makes perfect sense. But initially, it's like, community. I know all the questions that are going through your head right now. If you're a new person, went through mine too. I was like, what is this, But in time, it makes sense. But for the uninitiated, it's like, shaving, hobby, what? It's interesting. But they just don't know what we know. They haven't been delivered to the promised land of traditional shaving, have they? So anyway, let's get back to Barbus. As you can see, it's doing what it needs to do. There's definitely some cream in there. There's a bit of sheen on it. You do have to work at it a little bit though. So keep that in mind. But I will say, it smells very nice to me. I wish I knew what the notes were, but I don't. Clean fresh is the easiest way to explain it, or characterize it, I guess you would say. But it's nice, and I like it. And in terms of performance, it's perfectly fine. It's not really lacking anything. But don't expect it to be super heavy and creamy. You'll have to work if you want to get it there. You can get it pretty creamy, but it's not going to be super and creamy like these soaps with all these butters and oils in it that really add to that heft, in my opinion. But make no mistake, if you're shaving properly, this will definitely give you that slickness and the properties that you need with no problem at all. And that is nice. That's just a nice, enjoyable shave. And I do like the scent of this. And they, of course, have aftershave products and so on too. I didn't bring them with me. I just brought the soap. But they have a lot of products. So check out Big Dude Barbus. I'll link his store below. And this is also available at the razor company, the Barbus Classic, which I think is pretty nice. I I've used it quite a few times, and I forgot to mention the consistency on this is quite firm. It's like a hard putty, so the value on it is pretty good actually. All right, that was an excellent shave. Let me rinse and then we'll come back and get into the post. Stay tuned. And all right, we are back, and off camera did a rinse to get rid of the soap, and then we used our Razor Rock alum. After applying the alum, no sting, so super smooth shave, no nicks, cuts, creepers, weepers, irritation, bubbles, or troubles. Very nice shave indeed. Following the alum, we did a cool water rinse, and then we towed off with our Lancaster towel prior to, if I can find it, applying the Magic Made by Witches. This is Thayer's Witch Hazel Cucumber with aloe. I had an excellent shave today with Barbus Classic. If you're looking for a classic soap, this is actually quite a good one. It comes from Slovakia, comes at a good price. You will have to work to get it creamy, but I think it's a really nice soap. It'll give you everything you need in terms of that slickness that's required, and I enjoyed using it a lot today. I also enjoyed using the vintage Gillette Super Speed Blue Tip, which is a mild shaver. Had a Nasset blade in there on its first use, and that was very nice indeed. We used our APShaveco brush, and it's riding in our Lancaster Razor Works brush soaking mug, our HCNC bowl, and of course, we're going to finish it out today again with fine platinum. This is the next aftershave that I have marked to use up, because quite frankly, platinum just doesn't last like it used to, so I figured let's just get rid of some of these that I'm not inclined to use often. So I'm going to go ahead for another round today, and I hope wherever you are, you have a beautiful shave and a beautiful day. Thank you, as always, for watching. I really appreciate it. Till next time, I've been your host, CDB, reminding you, it's your shave, do it your way, and as always, God bless.